Okay, everybody, I am going to grab your attention. It is 20 minutes, so we will proceed whether or not we have a quorum. Thanks for being on time. It is always appreciated. So I'd left you with a couple of questions for discussion purposes coming back into the Zoom room. If you personally were purchasing a new or a pre-owned vehicle today, how would you want to be treated? Now, that might sound like a very obvious question, but maybe you could answer it this way. What would impress you about a sales consultant, a dealership, or even a vehicle that you're considering to purchase? And is there anything that would exceed your expectations? Maybe not. Maybe you haven't bought a car, or maybe you haven't bought a car in some time. But with respect to a big ticket purchase, is there anything that you could think of where you think, if a sales consultant did X, it would exceed my expectations? So you can answer any one of those three questions, and just curious to get a little feedback and discussion from everybody in the room. So by volunteer, anybody at all?
I can go. Great. I'm off the kind of corner off frame here. My answer kind of comes from a Ford experience in a way. Um, my first vehicle I ever bought was a Jeep Wrangler, and I really wanted one really bad. And you can't tell on camera, but I'm about 6'8". The sales consultant blatantly tried to sell me on a Dodge Dart, one of the newer styles, very small, which I don't fit in very well. And it was kind of clear that he was trying to push me over for no reason. So I think the thing that would really exceed my expectations and what I would want in a way not to be treated like just anybody else, to be treated like you're selling to me and what I care about and what the customer values for their own life. So making it a personal experience, which that sales consultant did not. He tried to sell me based off of what he thought I would like, not what I actually wanted, what actually worked for me. So, not just being treated like a person of the herd and being treated like an actual individual.
Okay, so focus on what I want, not what you want or need as the sales consultant, I think is it. And who is sharing that with us? Because I'm getting a visual for the boardroom, but I don't know who was talking.
Sorry, I'm a little off frame.
Okay, come on camera when you're talking. I been seeing that would be great because there was a bit of a mystery voice. I saw all kinds of people whose lips were not moving. Okay, good, thank you. Anybody else? And any of those three questions?
I can go. With every single car that I've ever bought, I have not been taken seriously. I know I look young and everything else. And I'm a female. I've never ever been taken seriously. When I've gone to purchase a car, I have to take my dad with me in order to get actually treated properly and think that get some help. And it's definitely crazy. And then when I do bring him, they don't even look at me, they don't talk to me. It's all directed at him.
So that's what's happened in the past. So what would you like to see then as a customer? So frame that based on those questions. What would exceed your expectations? How would you like to be treated? That's what's happened. What would you like?
So what would I would like would be that, I'm the one purchasing the vehicle, so I want to be treated like a person and I want to be taken seriously when I go somewhere.
Fair enough. Thank you. It's unfortunate, Jess, but it does happen even today. Good feedback. Anybody else? How would you like to be treated? What would exceed your expectations of a sales consultant or a dealership? Any of those three questions.
I'll go for this one. I think for ReCar Moncton, for any customer walking in, the first thing that they notice is the building. Keeping it clean, keeping it professional. I would put this building here against any other used car lot, any other used car dealership in the greater Moncton area. First impression is everything. and it's one of the cleanest, one of the nicest buildings that I've seen for a used car lot.
Okay, so fair enough. So Matthew, from your perspective, that would exceed your expectations, just
Yep.
cleanliness of facility?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be with you on that one. I have an eye for that kind of detail also, because if you're meticulous about the small things, then you're focused on the bigger things. Good pickup. Anybody else? What would you want? How would you want to be treated? What would impress the heck out of you as a consumer, either with respect to a sales consultant, the dealership, buying experience, you name it? Anybody?
I like when the answer's already there. I mean, if I'm coming to look at a car, I'm clearly going to want to see the Carfax report on it, especially if dealing with a used vehicle. So I'd like to have everything prepared, have the answers ready that I'm going to ask, like what was done on the inspection, has it been an accident, have the vehicle warmed up. There's nothing worse than showing up and they still have to go pull the car around front and it hasn't been started in 2 days. So just preparedness, I guess, is really, really a plus for me.
Okay, excellent. That's good feedback. Be prepared if you know that a customer's coming in to look at that vehicle. Have you pulled it out of the lineup? Have you inspected it? Have you started it up to make sure it's warmed up or cooled down in a hot summer? And with respect to the accompanying documents, have you sourced them? Have you reviewed them? Do you know them? And are you prepared to share them? So I think that, yes, if you were the customer and your sales consultant had done those things, you're starting off certainly on a positive and suggesting that I've already done some work on your behalf even prior to your arrival. Excellent feedback. Thank you. Anybody else? What would exceed your expectations? How would you want to be treated? And a general commentary about what you would like, whether purchasing a new or if you prefer pre-owned.
Something I find would kind of create like a personalized touch on follow-up would be like a
Move closer up. You're going to have to come a wee bit closer, Brent, just because of the microphone.
something I find would be a really really nice personalized follow-up would be having a database of people's birthdays, and even if it's a $2 birthday card you get from the dollar store and you send an email and they open it up and they say, that sales consultant really thought of you even after the sale, like something like a personalized follow-up, something like that. Like it doesn't have to be, three card payments on me or anything. Just a $2 card from the dollar store could probably go a long way. If you knew their birthday and their address and stuff you can find in dealer socket.
Okay, very good. Very good. That's interesting. Thank you. Anybody else? What would you like to see? How would you describe what would make an exceptional experience for you? What would exceed your expectations? How do you want to be treated in the car buying experience? Anyone at all?
I think just a fully engaged sales staff at every touch point. When you go into a dealership, sometimes you feel like the salesperson might be engaged, but then there's not a great handoff if you're dealing with finance, or a great handoff to the sales manager. They come in with this big booming, and you're just like at that point feeling like you're not as important, or looked down upon. So if you can get every touch point, every part of the process feeling just over the top engaged.
Good. A little bit more seamless activity once the customer is with us. Anybody else wish to comment? Steve?
Something that would impress me would be if the sales consultant would maybe offer an add-on or an extra product that I didn't ask for to build value on the deal.
Very good. Can you give me an example?
Like free oil change, first free oil change, or a detail on the car after you've had it for a couple weeks or a month, something like that.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. Anybody else? Zach, who else do we have? Matthew, no, we heard from Matthew. Anybody else in the room?
Sure, I'll say something. I bought two new cars in 2018. I bought a truck and a Jeep. And for me, like Brent was saying, or somebody was saying, if the consultant knows the vehicle you're interested in, be excited for them when they get there. There's nothing better than having a sales consultant who's enthusiastic about what you're buying and wants to get you excited about your purchase. Hopefully you've
Good feedback, Chris. And I would wholeheartedly agree with you that this is a business of attitude, as is most sales. In fact, I often instruct dealerships, hire attitude, teach skills. In other words, I would rather a sales consultant that joined us just had a great outlook and a great attitude about everything, as opposed to necessarily one that had the skills. We can normally teach the skills. Attitude is paramount because attitude sounds easy. You know, hey, what's so difficult of being upbeat, enthusiastic when a customer walks onto the lot? Well, it's not that difficult, except if you've been doing it for 5 years or 10 years. Then sometimes it becomes mundane, boring. And ladies and gentlemen, you will see the worst of customers also. You'll see the dark side of people. And sometimes that can have you grow bitter and defensive, offensive, aggressive, etc. And I don't want you to get into the habit, if you will, of making customers the enemy. Customers feed us. They pay our rent, our mortgage, our food, our heat, our hydro, our cars, our kids' hockey, our kids' education, etc. But sometimes sales consultants too quickly get very embittered about the way some customers, and sometimes many customers, behave. You'll hear phrases like buyers are liars, etc. And I don't like that kind of terminology. If customers sometimes misbehave, it's because the sellers have put them up to it. In other words, we've created that. And so forgive customers sometimes when they're difficult. Forgive them when they're not perhaps as friendly as you are. And hence, as best as you can, give them your focus, be present in the moment, and give them an amazing attitude. Enthusiasm does sell. It always has. Selling, by definition, to me, is simply the transferal of enthusiasm. Now, add some knowledge into that, selling your enthusiasm, transferring your enthusiasm to the potential buyer. We're not selling coffins, caskets. We're not selling cremation. We're selling a lifestyle product. It's not transportation, it's a lifestyle. If it was transportation, we'd all be driving entry-level compact vehicles. But we buy vehicles according to our lifestyles and according to our whims and according to our egos. So you're absolutely right, Chris. I can't emphasize enough your enthusiasm each and every encounter will win the day. That's a promise. The greatest challenge on your behalf is to demonstrate enthusiasm with each new customer you meet on the lot. Because guess what? Life gets in the way. Life gets in the way. You had a fight with your significant other this morning. Somebody peed in your cornflakes. Your car had a flat tire. You got into a fender bender on the way to work. You're behind in the visa. Your significant other and yourself have been in tight quarters for a long time, and you're getting on each other's nerves. Your kids have been home too much. They're getting on your nerves. That's called life. And what you have to do is be able to drive to your dealership, park your vehicle, and park your life's problems and challenges inside the vehicle, keep them there, and decide that once you enter your dealership, your showroom, this is in fact your safe place. This is where I'm going to shine. This is where I escape my life. And then at the end of the day, Whenever you knock off, well, your problems will still be in the car, and deal with them at that particular time as best as you can. It's called compartmentalizing. Many people, if you think about it, have great difficulty being present in the moment. We're thinking about something that happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year, or we're thinking about something that's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, rather than totally being focused on what's happening right now. And what's happening right now, if it's a customer, is the delivery of a great experience, starting with the best version of you. So ask yourself, from this day forward, with every customer engagement, are they getting the very best version of you? Thank you for that feedback. There were some good points. And is everybody seeing full screen? You should be looking at a little comic. Is that right? Can you give me a verbal? Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you have worked in other businesses and other sales related, and I'm going to ask you to forgive me. I'm going to share with you some basic information. And for some of you, especially that have been selling cars for a while, you might be thinking, oh my God, this is pretty basic, Chris. So give me a little bit of rope on this, because these are some fundamentals that I just want you to think about as we approach our customers on the lot, or in some cases, in the case of Volvo, in the case of Mitsubishi, sometimes you'll meet customers in the showroom. Sometimes in cold weather, in rainy weather, they pull right up to the front, they dash out of their car, and they're standing in the middle of your showroom. Yeah, one of you mentioned it. First impression. There's a lot of various different science around the concept of first impressions, but most would agree that you formulate a first impression of another human being within 7 seconds. And that's through body language, facial expression, voice tone, environment. And that it's very difficult for you to change your first impression of somebody. In other words, your first impression of somebody else is usually lasting. Well, the same happens in reverse. So notably, a positive beginning of the sale is the foundation of closing the deal successfully. It's really hard for you to flip things around if you've not created the positive first impression. In the beginning, the focus should always be on the relationship level. Trust and relationship play a very important role in the buying, in selling of the vehicle. The more you invest in building a good relationship with your potential client at this stage of the sales process, the smoother the rest of the process, in fact, will be. There's an old expression in sales, and it is especially evident in the Maritimes: make a friend first, a customer second. Make a friend first, a customer second. You were hired because you have that ability, whether you know it or not. Because you're going to be asked to meet a total stranger, strike up a conversation with them, and build a relationship / friendship within a very short period of time. And so we like to suggest relationship before facts, customer before contents. Contents being the details of the vehicle, the details of the dealership, etc. So just a couple of thoughts and reminders. When you're about to approach a customer, a lot of them you'll be meeting on the lot. I know this is going to sound basic, but really try to clear down your mind. A lot of us are thinking about the last customer, what we're going to have for dinner tonight, errands that we have to run after work, a fight we had with our significant other this morning. You know, just try to take those 1 or 2 big deep breaths and almost meditation mode and be positive about the outcome. Highly successful sales consultants in all industries practice positive visualization prior to every customer encounter. They almost see the sale unfolding in front of them, an excellent welcome, a positive response from the customer, good conversation, good chemistry, a cup of coffee, people that you know in common, things that you share in common, a customer that's liking the vehicle that they've chosen, an excellent presentation of the vehicle, a well-crafted demonstration drive, and a customer that's excited about seeing the payment options. Excellent sales consultants will almost take 30 to 60 seconds to watch a sale before it happens in their mind. So in other words, all things are created twice. See it happening, see it unfolding, see positive outcomes, and then practice it. Now, remember that many people are nervous, apprehensive, and defensive. How do some people act when they're defensive? Why are they defensive, by the way? What be that? What are you defensive about, dude? You're buying a car. Chill.
I can speak on that a little bit from when I worked at Ashley Home Store. People have had bad experiences with salesmen before. There'd be many times when I was there when people would come in and I'd introduce myself and they would just brush me away and they wouldn't even want to speak to me.
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? And Matthew, when that happens to you 50 times, do you see how you could start losing the smile, losing the enthusiasm, and then it becomes, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You looking and it becomes less and less. Customers can quickly chip away at your psyche. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. How do people act when they're defensive? I would classify that as probably rude. Some people are just outright rude to you. I hate to tell you that. Any other ways that people react when they're defensive? And sorry, let's back up. Why are they defensive? Matthew, indicate perhaps they've had a bad experience with another sales consultant. Yes. Why are also they defensive?
Salespeople have always been portrayed in on movies and stuff, especially used car salespeople, as being sneaky and, you know what I mean, like type of
I
thing.
agree, Steve. No question. We have stereotypes to deal with. Hey, can I share with you guys? This is not a fact. This is my belief. It's not a fact. It's my belief. I think that 10% of the workforce in whatever industry you're in are scummy and douchebags. Does that make sense? Could be a politician. It could be a lawyer. It could be a physician. It could be a police officer. It could be somebody that owns your local variety store. 10% of the workforce in any occupation are probably dishonest, scummy, douchey, including the auto industry. Including the auto industry. 90% of all of us simply want to go to work, enjoy what we do, get better at what we do, gain fulfillment, and be paid accordingly. Wouldn't you agree? And we want to grow our businesses, and perhaps some of us want to advance. and we want to have fun while we do it. I am personally offended by all of these people that think that all automotive sales consultants are somehow dishonest or shady or omit the truth. In my experience in 35 years, that is not the case. I have met some of the most incredible entrepreneurial, customer caring, successful people than I would meet in almost any other industry. So, hey, I always say to you, don't carry a flag where you're trying to convince everybody that you're a good person, that you're honest, that you're credible. Just do so through actions. Just convert people one at a time. Don't tell them, how good you are, how honest you are, how much integrity you have. Just demonstrate it through the delivery of an excellent sales process. Good. Some people go on the offensive when they're defensive. So that means almost being rude to you in their opening statement. I just want you to know I don't trust car salesmen. That's sort of how they greet you. Snap. Or what's your best price? That's all I care about. Can you talk to somebody? I just want your best price. Or I haven't got a lot of time. I'm just letting you know I'm busy. I've got a business appointment. And so they go on the offensive right away when they're actually feeling defensive. And some people are highly aggressive. And so I just want to kind of let you know that when some people feel vulnerable, defensive, they display that three different ways. They go on the offensive, they can get aggressive, and they can even get a bit rude. You don't, and you shouldn't have to take that, but I'm just going to ask you to forgive customers, forgive them, and very quickly they'll realize that you're a different cut. And they'll settle down. And in many cases, if somebody has displayed any kind of negative behaviors towards you, most of the time they end up apologizing. I'm sorry I've had a bad day, or I'm sorry I was at another dealership and it didn't go so well. You'll quickly realize that 98% of the people that you deal with are good people, and there'll be the small percentage that, well, it is what it is. These are examples. Is that your best price? I saw used vehicle the same as this one at another dealership for $1,200 less. That's an example of going on the aggressive right away. So I'm going to talk about, in this example, used vehicles to start, and then I'll morph it over to new. Oftentimes at your dealerships, all of them, ReCar, Mitsubishi, and Volvo, you've just met somebody on the lot, and the first thing they ask is that your best price? Or, look, I just want to let you know, I saw a used vehicle across the street. Who's the guy that hugs everybody? Who's the huggable? Gilbert. Forgive me, what's the dealership name? Meals on Wheels? Wheels and Deals? Okay. So they say, look, I'm just letting you know, I saw virtually the same car at Meals on Wheels, and it was $1,200 less. How would you respond to something like that? That takes the wind out of your sails pretty quickly.
There's obviously a reason.
What's that? Okay.
I would show them why our vehicle is called
Okay, interesting.
That sounds nice, but is it true?
Which is that, it sounds nice, Mr. It sounds nice, Mr. Lee. Is that true? You liar! Liar, liar, pants on fire, hang yourself from a telephone wire. Double douche. Sorry, I cut you off. Forgive me. Go ahead, say that again.
No, that was just kind of what it was. Like, you know, I've been here for a couple months now, so I've seen what we do in the time of when we see somebody say we have $1,200 less, and then I pull up like the reconditioning report and I say, well, we put 4 brand new brake pads onto it that are worth this, and we put 4 brand new tires onto it, and our vehicle has, you know, this much less. Connor, typically a reason why we are $1,200 more, and kind of build the value in it before saying, okay, I'm already going to give you $500 off or $1,000 off.
Okay, thank you. The good feedback from everybody. I'm going to share with you what to do as well as what not to do. And the what not to do is probably perpetrated across Canada every single day, dozens of times over. And I'm going to start with the what not to do. Does that make sense? So, Matthew, I'm going to have you be my customer. Are you with me?
Yep.
Okay. And Matthew, we're standing outside at a car and you're interested. It's a used vehicle. And you kind of suggest to me, hey, Chris, I just want to let you know, I saw virtually the same vehicle at another dealership and it was $1,200 less. Now, in the first role play, this is going to be the what not to do. And I'm going to coach you along in the role play as we get going. So when you see me do this, that means defute what I'm saying. I'll help you along. So go ahead, Matthew, start with the early objection.
Okay, so I saw this vehicle, the same vehicle at Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals for a better price, $1,200 less.
Okay, so remember, this is what not to do. So $1,200 less, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, maybe that vehicle had a lot more mileage on it.
No, it didn't actually have less than this one.
Oh, maybe like our vehicle has more like options on it, eh? Than the one at like over at the huggable one.
Well, what are your options?
No, just indicate it doesn't. It's the same.
Oh, okay. It doesn't.
Maybe the car over at the Huggy Guy was in an accident.
No, it wasn't. They went over the Carfax with me.
Oh, so they showed you the Carfax?
Yep.
Maybe like that. Okay, like just so you know, like a lot of the guys that work over there, like are ex-convicts. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I don't believe they
that?
are.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's like, so I'm just telling you that if you want to deal at a place like with a lot of ex-convicts, and I think a lot of them are murderers. Like they got out of prisons in other parts of Canada and went and worked there, eh? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's why they're cheaper. And so here's where I'm going with this. And you'll often find that when a customer brings up another vehicle, they'll say, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm confused. I saw another vehicle pretty much the same as yours, but it was $1,200 less. Wrongly, what the sales consultant attempts to do is to start comparing their vehicle. They'll say, well, Matthew, perhaps that other vehicle has more mileage. Matthew says, no, as a matter of fact, I think the other one had less mileage. Sales consultant suggests, well, maybe it doesn't have the same features. Maybe it's actually a different trim level. No, says the customer, it's actually the same trim level. I was very well researched on that. Well, perhaps undisclosed was the fact that the vehicle was in a fender bender and there was some damage on the vehicle, hence the lower price. No, says Matthew, the customer, I actually reviewed a Carfax vehicle history report. So wrongly, what a sales consultant attempts to do is to compare the two vehicles, because you're never going to win. Because it'll always seem to you as the sales consultant that every other vehicle out there is better than yours at a lower price. Here's why. In a high percentage of cases, ladies and gentlemen, there is no other vehicle. The customer's making it up or exaggerating another vehicle that they've seen. You follow? There is no other vehicle. So why would they say that? I saw a used vehicle the same as this one at another dealership for $1,200 less. Why would a customer make a statement like that if it's totally untrue, or if there was some other vehicle, but it's nowhere even close to the one that they're viewing with you? Why would they make statements like that?
They think they're going to get a better deal that way.
Sorry?
They think they're going to get a better deal that way.
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. It's just as simple as that. They're just starting the negotiation process early. Wouldn't you agree? They're just throwing you off your game a little bit and seeing, how solid this price is, if it's negotiable. It's their way of beginning the negotiation process very early in the sale. In fact, it's showing extreme interest in your vehicle. Now, I want to say for the record, there are occasions where sometimes there will be a cheaper vehicle somewhere else. It happens, where another dealership was able to purchase a similar vehicle far under market value. It does happen. Not a lot, but it does happen. But again, I want to reiterate that in most cases, there's no such vehicle. So allow me now to change the role play for the better. And we'll answer this a better way. So Matthew, once again, I saw a used vehicle, etc. And remember, this is something the customer is telling us within 5 minutes of us meeting them on the lot. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, so I saw this vehicle on at Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals for $1,200 cheaper.
Matthew, I certainly understand. Matthew, I can't really talk too much about the other vehicle. I don't know anything about it. But what I can do is to share with you everything I know about this vehicle that you're looking at. And at the end of the day, if you feel that there's another vehicle that's better suited to you, I wouldn't be unhappy if you bought it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
In other words, you're acknowledging what the customer has said, but you're kind of ignoring it. Acknowledge, ignore. Hey, Matthew, I do understand. I can't really talk much or comment about another vehicle. All I can do while you're here is to share with you everything I know about this vehicle. And at the end of the day, if you feel that there's another vehicle that's better suited for you, I certainly wouldn't be unhappy if you bought it. But let's make the best use of your time while you're here. And so you didn't get into a tiff with the customer. You didn't challenge them. You simply acknowledged and ignored. Because once again, in a high percentage of cases, there's no such other vehicle, or it's been greatly distorted. So there's an old expression in sales: allow customers to win battles, you win wars. And sometimes the greatest downfall of a potentially magnificent sales consultant is their own ego. They say things like, well, sir, why don't we pull it up right now and have a look? Let's see what's in Jim Gilbert's inventory. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, no, there's no such car. You're going to embarrass the customer or put them into a corner they can't get out of. And how do typically people react if you've embarrassed them or made them wrong? Buy elsewhere. That's right. They leave. They leave. Does that make sense? So don't make people wrong. Let customers win battles. You win wars. So I'm going to play that out once again. Matthew, just feed me the objection and then I'll share that back with you.
Yeah, sure. So I saw this car at Jim Gilbert's Wheels and Deals for $1,200 cheaper.
Matthew, I certainly understand. I can't really comment or talk much about another vehicle. I don't know that vehicle. I do know this one. So maybe while you're here, I can share with you absolutely everything I know about this vehicle, as well as what's included in the price. And at the end of the day, if you do feel there's another vehicle better suited to you, we certainly wouldn't be unhappy if you bought it. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Acknowledge, ignore. Acknowledge, ignore. Who'd like to try it? So here are the key phrases. I understand. I understand. I can't really talk about another vehicle or comment about it. I don't know it. All I can do is share with you everything I know about this vehicle and what's included in the price. And at the end of the day, if you choose to buy something else, if you feel that there's another vehicle of better value, I wouldn't be unhappy if you bought it. That's the essence of what we're trying to convey with that particular early objection. So notice that this is all coming within the welcome. You're going to start getting objections from customers as soon as you meet them. They're sort of going to go on the attack sometimes. Would anybody like to try that? Use your words, but let's see if we can get through that. I just find, don't call them out on another vehicle. That happens a lot at your dealerships. I've heard it. Well, our vehicle is this, our vehicle is that. Then the customer starts arguing, well, so is the other one I looked at. And we're just into a confrontation that you can't win. Who would like to try it? I'll be your customer and you can be the sales consultant. As I enjoy my...
Well, since there's no volunteers, I guess I'll go.
Just well done. Show the men how it's done.
So what we do. Perfect. So hi, sir. How are you doing today?
Okay, so just to set the stage for you, to help you along, we've already met on the lot. We'd be talking about the weather, Tim Horton, maybe the state of modern Catholicism in the Western Hemisphere. Whatever the subject of the day is, a little small talk, getting to know each other. And then we're making our way to the vehicle that I've expressed interest in. I saw your vehicle online. and I said, hey, I'm here to see the 2017 Ford F-150, and we're already on the way. And I turn to you as we're looking at the vehicle and I say, by the way, I saw virtually the same truck somewhere else for $1,200 less. What up with that? What up with that? What up with that?
No, I understand, sir. I'm not too sure why that would be. I don't know anything about that car, unfortunately. I can definitely tell you everything that I know about this one and as to maybe why this one would be a little bit more expensive than the other one. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about that one though.
Okay, not bad, but don't even acknowledge that, you know, it's more expensive. There might not be another vehicle. So it'd be, I understand. I can't really comment about another vehicle. All I can do is tell you about this one and what's included in the price. And at the end of the day, if you feel that there's better value elsewhere, we wouldn't be unhappy if you bought. Okay, not bad. I give you big points for volunteering. Somebody else. This is the stuff you're going to get hit with tonight, tomorrow, and the day after on the lot. This is all going to happen within the welcome. Somebody else? So I just want to let you know, basically, like it looks nice and that, but like I was over at another lot, Dewey, Cheatham and Howe. Same damn thing, 1,200, might even be $1,500 cheaper. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm letting you know. It seems that your prices are pretty sky high.
I totally understand, and you know what? I respect your time. I want to focus on this vehicle here, which I feel you're really going to like. Let me talk to the features in this particular unit, and at the end of the day, you're going to do what's best for you. Can we do that? Is that okay for you?
Sure, sure. Good job, Chris. Better because you didn't get into a peeing contest about another vehicle. Hey, can't really comment on another vehicle. Thank you for bringing it up. All I can do is to share with you everything I know about this vehicle because you're here right now and what's included in the price. And at the end of the day, you'll obviously make a decision on what's best for you. Kenny? Yeah, give it a go, give it a go, give it a go. So I'm just saying, you know, I'm just letting you know, I did see another vehicle out there. It was a lot less. If I memory serves me, I think it was a good $1,200 less than this one. And like I'm here, but I'm just kind of wondering, you know, why there's such a big price difference.
Sir, I definitely understand what you're saying today. I guess first of all, I can't comment on another vehicle. I don't know anything about the vehicle that's the other dealership. But what I can tell you is that I really appreciate you coming in today to meet with me. I want to make sure you leave today having all the information to make the right decision on your purchase. That's what's important to me, and I want to make sure that I respect your time and that there's value added for you being here with me today in my office. At the end of the day, if you leave after I've presented all that information, I want to take some time, go through the vehicle with you. I'd like you to drive it after review the features and advantages and benefits and what we do at our dealership to add value to our customers. All the great points that we have with our warranty and service and how we want to make sure at the end of the day you feel good about purchasing a vehicle from us. And by all means, at the end of the day, if you feel that that other vehicle is the better choice for you, then I would not be hurt in any way if you made that decision to go elsewhere. But I'd like the opportunity to speak to you first with what I have here on our lot.
Okay, good, Kenny. A little wordy, and that would be natural. You brought up some very good points. Good job. Good job. So once again, hey, I understand. I can't really comment too much about another vehicle. I don't know that vehicle. I do know ours. So to make best use of your time, since you're here already, I'll share with you everything I know about this vehicle, as well as what's included in the price. As well as what's included in the price And at the end of the day, if you choose to buy somewhere else, if you feel that there's another vehicle of better value, we certainly wouldn't be unhappy. Does that sound fair to you? So what you're really saying to the customer is, whether or not there's another vehicle out there, I'm not really going to get into that argument or a comparison. Obviously, you're here for a reason. And while you're here, I'm going to do my darndest to show you this vehicle, the value proposition, what's included in the price. And at the end of the day, whatever you choose, I'm happy. But let's make good use of your time while you're here. That's fundamentally what you're saying to the customer. Caroline? So I'm just saying that, I did see another vehicle, and, this isn't the first dealership I've been to. Obviously, I'm doing a bit of comparison shopping. And I did see another one that was $1,200 cheaper. That's a lot of money in my household. I don't know about yours. Okay, actually, very good. Very good. Short and sweet. Don't get into an argument about another vehicle because, again, it may not exist. One more, Drake, and then we'll move ahead. Good job, guys. He swings into frame. Drake comes in, then he goes out. Then he comes in, then he goes out. It's, you know what? Money is money. I'm looking at something that's $1,200 cheaper. Same damn thing. Same damn thing. Same damn thing.
Absolutely. I completely understand. But what I can do today is that I cannot comment on another vehicle and what that vehicle would have to offer. But what I can do is I can show you what our vehicle has to offer for the price that we have. So that way, at the end of the day, you have all the facts that you need to make a decision and what's best for you and your family.
Okay, good. Good. And I forgot, I can't see behind you, Drake. Who's behind you? Who is it? Brent. I'm sorry, Brent. Come on up. Brent's $1,200 cheaper. Lord Tunnon and Jesus. That's a lot of cake. That's a lot of cod. $1,200. At another dealership, it was at Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. $1,200 is $1,200.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. I totally understand. Look, the thing
Are you
is,
playing pocket pool there? What are you doing with the hands?
at the end of the day, I can't speak to somebody else's vehicle. However, what I can do while you're here is we can gather some notes on our vehicle. I can show you the value that we have built into ours and show you what the advantages of ours are. Now, I totally understand if at the end of the day, the other one makes more sense for you. If you end up buying that and it makes more sense, I wouldn't be totally disappointed. But let's make the best value of your time here today. And let's show you about this particular car.
Okay, good job, Brent. Keep the hands out of the pockets, though. There you go. Yeah, that actually you can go out to the customer like that. Hands raised, you know, as if you live in the hood in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? Questions, comments, concerns thus far? Okay, good job, everybody. Is that your best price? Absolutely. Mitsubishi has value priced the RVR to sell for $39,995. If you allow me the opportunity to show you the newest features that the RVR has to offer, I'm sure that you'll appreciate the value that it represents. Let's just jot down some details of what you're looking for. Follow me. Now that's with reference to a brand new vehicle, so that sometimes when a customer asks that question, the answer is absolutely. Actually, the vehicle has been priced very competitively in the marketplace. Allow me an opportunity to show you the features, and we can review the pricing in much more detail after you've had a chance to drive it. The vehicle has been attractively priced, and there are some outstanding finance and lease rates that will make the vehicle extremely affordable. We'd never lose a customer's business for a few dollars, so please allow me the opportunity to show you the vehicle's features and take it for a drive, and we'll work out a terrific deal for you when we get back. So on a new vehicle, when customers are asking, is this the best price? You're kind of suggesting, yes, it is, and trying to move the customer in a forward motion. Or sometimes there's another approach. Is that your best price? Actually, it's not. We currently have a $2,000 retail delivery cashback and low financing and leasing options. If we find a vehicle that you like, I'll work out all of your pricing and payment options. Now, retail delivery credits, cashbacks are terms that would come from the manufacturer based on special incentives that might be offered on a periodic basis. I saw a vehicle with lower mileage and a better price, $1,200 cheaper. I do understand. I can't speak about the other vehicle. However, while you're here, allow me to show you the features, warranty, and reconditioning process of this vehicle so that you can decide which vehicle is best for you. Does that sound fair? In other words, acknowledge what the customer stated, but kind of ignore it instead of trying to get into an argument about another vehicle that may not even exist. And in most cases, ladies and gentlemen, that other vehicle doesn't actually exist. So at this particular time, what I want to do is share with you an anecdote of something that I experienced in terms of a welcome, on a positive, by the way. A few years ago, I checked into a hotel in Vancouver, and it was probably one of Vancouver's top 1 or 2 hotels. It's called the Four Seasons. Now, I wasn't paying for the room. I was a guest speaker at a big conference, and so the room was covered by the conference. Otherwise, the room in that particular property would likely be $600 to $800 per night at least. So very expensive, just a beautiful hotel downtown Vancouver. So my taxi pulled up to the front circular driveway, and the porter opened the door and grabbed my bags. And I immediately went to the reception. And behind the reception desk on the back wall was a reader board lit up with sort of a moving ticker. You know, they have messages that go across, all lit up, like you see on cable news sometimes. And I looked up, and to my shock, it said, "Welcome back, Mr. Schultes. So nice to have you." I haven't spoken to anybody. I got out of the taxi 20 seconds ago. I'm at reception, and my name only is up on the board. Standing behind was a woman, probably in her mid-30s. She was stunning, just very well put together, very professional, very businesslike, but at the same time, she exuded warmth and personality. And of course, professionalism. And she said, "Welcome, Mr. Schultes. So nice to have you back. Mr. Schultes, while I'm checking you in, can I pour you an ice cold glass of spring water with citrus and pomegranate?" And I said, ooh, yeah. And there was a big receptacle behind her workstation, you know, and she poured in an actual crystal goblet, you know, this spring water, and I sipped it as she checked me in. Now, I'm a heavy, heavy business traveler. And most of us that travel a lot hate the check-in process. It takes too long. And so we want it done lickety split. And she did. Instantly, I was checked in. She then said, Mr. Schultes, would you like me to review the amenities of this property? Or are you simply anxious to get to your room? And I said, no, it's okay. I am familiar with the hotel. I'll just head off to my room. She said, very well. And she exited through a door on her side, walked out in front, and she walked me to the elevator. And she pushed the button. And while we waited for the elevator, she stood facing me. And as the elevator doors opened, she handed my card to me, the key, and she said, once again, Mr. Schultes, welcome to the Four Seasons. My job is to ensure that your stay is extraordinary. She handed me the keys. I entered the elevator and off I went. Well, as I like to say, she had me at hello. Now, bear in mind, this is a very expensive hotel. Again, not bragging, I wasn't paying, somebody else was paying the bill. However, I will share with you then when I walked up to reception, she didn't say, hey, how you doing? She didn't say, how are ya? She didn't say, nice day, eh? Every piece, every part of that welcome was rehearsed. And it was mandated by the organization. Now, because I was speaking at a conference, I did get introduced. I did chat with the general manager and I said, how did you know my name? He wouldn't tell me. Now I pressed him. I was there for several days and I kept on him. I said, how did you know my name? It was on a reader board, for goodness sakes, flashing, welcome, Mr. Schultes, so nice to have you back. And finally he broke down and he said, well, Mr. Schultes, when you got out of the vehicle in front of our lobby, we had 8 cameras on you. When you first stayed with us several years ago, we fed your driver's license and other ID into our database. And he said, we have on average 13 seconds to find your file and match, and it's all done automated. The database looks for your face, matches it, and immediately gets your name up on the reader board. And I thought, my goodness. I said, do you mind if I ask why? Like, that sounds like extraordinary software and extremely expensive. Why would you do that? I asked. And he said, very simple, because you're asking. And I want to share with you that I will probably always remember the way I was welcomed at the Four Seasons in Vancouver. And so what I always ask of us in the world of business, is your welcome memorable? Or will it be memorable? And sometimes in all of retail, think about your experiences, the welcomes are often lukewarm, poor, or none at all, if that makes sense. Forget about automotive, but it could be furniture, it could be electronics. It's often, you know, can I help you? How are you doing? Has anybody looked after you? And it just doesn't seem the right way to start an experience whereby the consumer might be spending 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or even $100,000. Does that make sense to everybody? And so we don't want to take away your personalities. That's why you're here. but there's a couple of things that should be a part of every welcome, and jot them down. Did you find your booklet? I think Dave found them in his office. Did they get distributed to you? Did some of you get them that are in the room? I know some of you, if you're at home, may not, but they were sitting in Dave O'Leary's office. So boardroom guys, did you get them? Okay, others, unfortunately, you don't. They have been sitting in Dave's office. And if not, take some notes. So if you can, go to page 5. Page numbers are on the bottom. And if you don't have the booklet, I'm sorry about that. That was a little bit of a cock up, but let's take some notes. So with respect to the welcome, here's something very basic. How about the word welcome? You can't go wrong with the word welcome. Welcome. No, welcome, Jess. Welcome, Matthew. Welcome, Steve. Welcome, Chris. Hey, welcome, Kenny. Welcome, Brent. Welcome, Drake. Dave, welcome. It's a wonderful word, and I refer to it as the beautiful welcome. Did anybody see the movie 300? So they talk in the movie 300 about the beautiful death on the battlefield. So this is the beautiful welcome on the battlefield, the beautiful welcome. The word welcome. Avoid, can I help you? Avoid, can I help you? Why? That comes out of salespeople's mouths every day of the week. Can I help you? Sometimes it even sounds like a dialect. The L gets dropped. Can I help you? Help you? We want to avoid the phrase and the question, can I help you? Any idea why? Yeah, very good. And it also gives the customer the opportunity to say things like, no, we're just kind of getting a few ideas right now. That's okay. Can I help you? They don't need help. They need information. So avoid, can I help you? Here's some better phrases. What vehicle would you like more information on? What vehicle would you like to see today? Or what vehicle would you like to drive today? Or how can I help you with your research? And for Drake, that would be very Volvo-esque. How can I help you with your research? Welcome to Volvo. My name is Drake, and you are? Chris. Chris, very pleased to meet you. And thank you for visiting us. We really appreciate the opportunity. How can I help you with your research? A very simple and professional welcome. Instead of, can I help you? Has anybody looked after you? And I made the comment, one of my own personal clients is Canada's largest Cadillac dealer in Toronto. And it's called Roy Foss Cadillac. And they have several dealerships. And very busy, lots of action. And when you walk into the showroom, one thing I noticed is that I might be there for a meeting with the dealer. And this was prior to our training activities. And usually 2 or 3 guys would come up to me and they seemed very, nervous is the wrong word, but almost very harried. And it was like, is somebody looking after you or no? Is somebody looking after you or no? Is somebody looking after you? And there was a lot of activity, almost anxiety in the showroom. And I would just say, hey, no, it's okay. I'm just here for a meeting. Okay. And off they go. And I just made the comment to the dealer principal with great humility. His name is James. And I said, James, you know, hey, it's just a simple thing, but it's Canada's largest Cadillac dealer. I would just expect something better than, has somebody looked after you? That's all. And think about your own journey in retail. Whether you're buying a TV, a computer, whether a sofa, does the welcome grab you right away? Is it memorable? Does it create a strong first impression? It's easy to do when you're brand new. It's much harder to do when you've been doing it for some time. Because you'll see the dark side of customers. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so once again, just a couple of elements in your welcome, and then we want you to add your personality. The first is the word welcome. Welcome to Volvo, welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi, welcome to ReCar. The word welcome is the beautiful welcome. Next, introduce yourself. My name is Chris, and you are? First names are fine. Nobody will remember your last name anyway. First names are fine. Nobody will likely remember your last name anyway. And then maybe as soon as the customer identifies themselves, Sarah, Jan, Bill, how about a thank you? Thank you for visiting us. We really appreciate it. Consumers do have choices. You're not the only dealership. And then pose a question. What vehicle would you like more information on? What vehicle would you like to see today? What vehicle would you like to drive today? How can I help you with your research? What pieces of the puzzle can I fill in for you? Because remember, your customer is highly researched. So in order, a welcome, an introduction, a thank you, and a question. Would anybody like to try? Just a welcome, and after an introduction, a thank you, and then a question. Easy peasy. Somebody volunteer, or would you like me to pick volunteers?
Yeah, I can go first.
Good, thank you, Matthew.
Yeah. Welcome to ReCar Moncton. My name's Matt. Thank you for visiting us today. How can I serve you?
Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Now, I'll back you up a little bit. Start again from the top, Matt.
Okay. Welcome to ReCar Moncton.
Okay, good. Next.
My name's Matt.
And what do you want to find out about me?
And
your
I'm
name?
not sure off the top of my head. Oh, yes, and your name is?
And your name? Chris. I'm Chris.
Yes. I want to thank you for coming and taking your time for visiting us today. And then you finish off the question, how can I serve? I usually use, how can I serve you?
Clean that up a little bit. That sounds like a lot like, can I help you?
Yep.
Let's get past that. That's what we want to change. What vehicle would you like more information on? Or what vehicle would you like to see today? Or what vehicle would you like to drive today?
Okay.
Or how can I help you with your research? Let's use one of those questions.
Oh, yes.
We want to stay away from, can I help you? How can I serve you?
Yep.
It just leads to dead end answers. We're just looking,
Yeah.
we're just getting a feel for the market. We're not buying today. We still want to look at another vehicle. Let's kind of skip all of that useless exchange. Okay, not bad. We're going to come back to you. Jess?
I usually start mine by saying, hi, I'm Jessica. How are you today? Is there anything particular that you're looking for?
Sorry, your sound isn't great, Jess. Can you either lean in or?
Sorry. I usually start by saying, hi, my name's Jess. Welcome to ReCar. How are you doing today? Is there anything in particular that I can help you with? Or that, is there anything, sorry, not that I can help you with, is there anything particular that you're looking for?
Okay, so guys, from this day forward, it's not going to be what I do, it's what we're going to do when we move forward. Does that make sense? Okay, so I don't want to hear what you have been doing. Part of the reason for training is we're going to change some of those words and behaviors moving forward. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
This is what Dave wants. And so that's why we're here. So again, you're going to have to take notes for those of you that don't have a booklet in front of you. So first thing we want to do is welcome to ReCar. Welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi. Welcome to Volvo. My name is Chris, and you are? Jess. Jess, very pleased to meet you, and thank you for visiting us today. Jess, what vehicle would you like more information on? And so please assume, and you're only going to have to take this from me, that most people, when they arrive on your lot, already have a vehicle that they're interested in, either new or used, and they've seen it online. Does that make sense? Okay, we'll come back to you. And over to Steve. Steve from, I've never been to St. Croix. Where's St. Croix anyway? Forgive my manners, I should know where it is, but I can't quite picture it in my mind.
This one's in St. Stephen.
Excellent.
Hey, welcome to St. Croix Auto. My name's Steve, and you are?
Chris.
Chris. Great to meet you, Chris. Thanks for choosing St. Croix Auto. Is there a certain vehicle you have in mind you'd like to know more about?
Okay, good, Steve. You brought it home. You brought it home. What vehicle would you like more information on? What vehicle would you like to see today? You're assuming that they're here to see a specific vehicle. And in most cases with used vehicles, they saw something online on either your website or wherever your dealership might advertise, like Auto Trader, Kijiji, Car Gurus, wherever your dealership advertises its cars. Does that make sense? Okay, good job. Over to the boardroom. Brent, knock my socks off. Change the way I think about automotive retail. Whoever, Brent 1 or Brent 2. Chris. The 2017 Ford Escape. Okay, so what do we want to make sure that we suggest to the customer within the welcome? What was missed? Thank you. I know it sounds like a little thing, guys, and that's why we role play it. It is the word welcome. It's an exchange. My name is, your name is. Thank you for visiting us, by the way. We really appreciate it. People have choices when they're buying a vehicle. And Canadian consumers are not used to being thanked. Gosh, Canadian consumers are often not thanked after they spend their money, let alone before. We're acknowledging that we know the customer has choices. Thank you for visiting. We really appreciate it. You know, we know there's lots of great dealerships out there, and we simply appreciate the opportunity to show you what we have to offer. What vehicle would you like more information on? Brent 2?
Hey there, welcome to ReCar. My name's Brent. What's your name?
Chris.
Hey Chris, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate getting the opportunity to chat with you today. Is there anything that I can help put some pieces together of your puzzle on research for a vehicle?
Yes. I saw on your website a 2015 Honda Civic.
Fantastic choice. Let's head on in and we'll look at a couple options there for you.
Okay, good. Not bad, Brent. Got a little messy at the end there. Again, the questions are, what vehicle would you like more information on? It could be, what vehicle would you like to see today? What vehicle would you like to drive today? Or how can I help you with your research? Or sometimes with a Volvo style customer who are typically very researchy oriented, it's sometimes I like to share, hey, You've done a lot of research. What pieces of the puzzle can I fill in for you? It's almost like you're there to complete the research. Does that make sense, Drake?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's really what's happening, is that you're going to fill in the last remaining pieces of a jigsaw puzzle for them to fundamentally make their decision. Dave?
Welcome to ReCar Woodstock. My name's Dave, and your name is?
It's Chris.
Chris. Thank you so much for stopping in today. Is there, what vehicle, what vehicle would you like to see or test drive today?
Good, good. And just remember to do what? That was good, actually, Dave. Just remember to do what?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I heard it from Kenny. What was that?
He said thank you.
Oh, okay, didn't catch that. So one more time from the top, Dave. And let me see your personality. You've got a giant personality.
Welcome to ReCar Woodstock. My name's Dave, and your name is?
It's Chris, actually.
Chris, thank you so much for stopping in today. What vehicle can I get you into a test drive or look at?
I'm here to see the 2016 Ram, the Ram Sport that I saw on your website.
Excellent. Great choice. Step in with me and we'll take a look at it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Carolia? Hey there. It's Chris. The 2017 RBR. Okay, good. Good attitude, good tone. Now, I'm going to stop and suggest to you, I made the comment that this is some fairly basic stuff to begin sales with, very basic, but you can see that even role playing something as simple as a welcome, it takes a bit to, ensure that the message is delivered the way David O'Leary, David Brown, etc. would like it delivered. So again, one thing missing there, and it's such a beautiful word in the English language, welcome. Welcome to ReCar. Welcome to Volvo. Welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi. So let's make sure that all of our welcomes start there. Does that make sense? Just the word welcome, it's a word that all age groups appreciate, all backgrounds. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you haven't written it down, write it down. Just the word welcome. Welcome to Volvo. Welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi. Welcome to ReCar. It's just something that a lot of people aren't used to. Then your introduction. My name is Chris, and you are? And today we're in an era where we might not be shaking hands because of COVID. And that's fine. You can display warmth and enthusiasm without a handshake. Just try, a couple of you I saw, try to keep your hands out of your pockets when you're welcoming somebody. Sometimes I see this also, crossed arms. Sometimes I see hands on hips. Just try to keep your hands out in front of you, open, animated. And then ask a question. What vehicle would you like to see today? You see, you're assuming that they're here to see a specific vehicle, which in most cases they are. They've come to see something very specific. So what vehicle would you like to see today? Or what vehicle would you like to drive today? What vehicle would you like more information on? Or how can I help you with your research? Or as I suggested, maybe in the case of Volvo, what pieces of the puzzle can I fill in for you? The customer's already quite far along in their online research with respect to the vehicle. So First piece, thank you. Second piece, the introduction. Third piece, a thank you. And the fourth piece, a question. So if you've got it all written down, let's try one more go through, and then it'll be lunchtime, and I'll prepare you for what lunch might look like. Okay, so once again, we'll go to the back of the boardroom with Chris. Those 4 elements in order.
Good morning. Welcome to Credit Mitsubishi. My name is Chris. What vehicle can I help you with today?
Okay, who am I? Who am I?
Who are you?
Okay, let's start from the top. So
Sure. Let's
welcome.
rewind.
My name is, your name is. If you have to read it, I'm cool with that, guys.
No, I don't need to read it. It's awkward role playing it. It's more natural talking to people. So
Uh,
anyway, good
can I
morning.
share with you?
Mitsubishi. My name is Chris. What is your name?
Chris.
Hey, Chris. Nice to meet you. What vehicle brings you here today?
Okay. What was missing?
I don't know.
Did you write down the 4 elements?
I can, sure.
What were they?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
What are the 4 elements that you wrote down of a good welcome?
Well, we've got a welcome, we have an introduce myself, we have ask you why you're here, and ask you your name, I believe is the 4.
Okay, no, that's not it. So guys, this is why I ask you to make notes.
Oh, the thank you. My apologies.
Okay, so I'm gonna, if you haven't made notes, I'm gonna ask you to do this because this is imperative to Dave O'Leary. Okay, number 1, the 4 elements of a good welcome. Number 1, welcome. If you have not made notes of this, please make notes. Welcome. Number 2, an introduction, both ways. My name is, your name is. 3, thank you for visiting us. And 4, pose a question. What vehicle would you like more information on? What vehicle would you like to drive today? Now, Chris, you made a point. It isn't natural when we role play in a training room or even a Zoom room. I would agree with you. However, if we don't do it right now, what's going to happen on the lot?
I seem to have no trouble talking to people on the lot, but I guess.
No, I'm not questioning your ability to talk to people on the lot. What I want to make sure it's just done the way Dave O'Leary wants it. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to control everybody, but this is training. The reason you're in the car business is because of your personality, but there are certain things that we are going to ask you to do that are going to create a better first impression. Does that make sense? And that's all we're trying to accomplish right here, right now. Okay, so one more. I'm just going to ask a little bit of trust on your behalf on this. Not trying to make you robots, but a couple of things done well right off the hop make for a better customer experience. There, we've forgotten about him. He's up in the corner there. Zach, can you help me out?
Yeah, not a problem. Welcome to ReCar. My name is Zach. Thank you for visiting. What's your name?
It's Chris.
Chris, nice to meet you, Chris. What vehicle would you like to see today?
Okay, good. Good job, Zach. That's what I'm looking for. It was just as simple as that, but all 4 little elements contained within that. One more time, Jess.
Hi, welcome to ReCar. My name's Jessica. How may I help you today? Oh,
Okay.
How,
All you have to
sorry.
do, you can look at your page and you can take it as slow as you want, the 4 elements. So start from the top, look at your page if you want. Start again.
Hey, hi, welcome to ReCar. My name's Jessica, and you are?
Chris.
Oh, Chris, well, thanks so much for coming to see us today. Is there a car that you had in mind already?
Okay, good. Much better. Much better. What vehicle would you like more information on? Good. What vehicle would you like to test drive? In other words, you're already assuming that they've chosen a car online, which in most cases they have. Much, much better. Thank you. And over to Matthew.
Good afternoon. Welcome to ReCar Moncton. My name's Matt. I just want to take a second to thank you for coming in today. What are you looking to see, or sorry, what are you looking to test drive today?
Okay, good, good. What do you also want to find out about me?
Your name.
Okay, so start from the top. That was good. Just
Yep.
one more time.
Yep. Hi, welcome to ReCar Moncton. My name is Matt, and your name?
It's Chris.
It's Chris. Nice, awesome. I just want to take a second to thank you for stopping in today. What would you like to see today?
Okay, good, good, much better. And Steve? Steve at St. Croix?
Hi, welcome to St. Croix Auto. My name is Steve, and you are?
Chris.
Hey, Chris, thanks so much for choosing us, giving us a chance to garner your business. Which vehicle would you like more info on today?
Good, excellent, perfect, Steve. That's all I'm after. And one more time in the big boardroom, and we'll go to Kenny.
Hi, welcome to ReCar. My name's Kenny, and what's your name?
Chris.
Nice to meet you, Chris. Thanks so much for coming in today. What vehicle can I set up for a test drive today for you?
Perfect, thank you, Kenny. Excellent. And we'll just go down the table. Carol Leah? Chris, thank you. Okay, better, thank you. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. Good. And Chris?
Hi, welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi. My name is Chris. What is your name?
It's Chris. Easy.
Chris, thanks for coming in today. What vehicle brings you here today?
Perfect. 10 out of 10. Thank you. And around the back of the table?
Welcome to Fredericton Mitsubishi. My name is Brent. And your name is?
It's Chris.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for coming to see us today. What vehicle can I interest you in?
Looking at the 2019 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost that you have out front.
Probably my favorite car of all time. I'll get some more information on it for you.
Thank you. And Dave?
Welcome to ReCar Woodstock. My name's Dave, and your name is?
It's Chris.
Chris, thank you so much. Really appreciate you stopping in today. What vehicle could I take you or let you take a test drive in?
Perfect. 10 out of 10. Thank you. And over to the corner, Brent 2.
Hi, my name's Brent. Sorry, let me rewind that one. Welcome to ReCar Fredericton. My name's Brent. What's your name?
It's Chris.
Thanks so much for coming in, Chris. Really appreciate you doing so. What vehicle could I interest you in a test drive today?
Perfect. Thank you, Brent. And then Drake is going to slide into frame momentarily. I love that.
All set up. Hi, welcome to Volvo Cars New Brunswick. My name is Drake, and your name is?
It's Chris.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for coming in today. How can I help you with your research?
Just looking to get a little bit more information on the XC90.
Absolutely excellent choice. Why don't you come into my office and we will have a chat?
Okay, thank you. Good. All right. A couple of summary comments, guys. First of all, throughout the room, that was extremely well done. Now, it took me a little while to push you to get to that. You follow? And these words are very specific as to what Dave O'Leary wants, only because, and unbeknownst to you, sometimes the welcomes, they do get too casual sometimes. How you doing? Great day. We don't want to take away your personality, but we just want to add a few elements into the welcome that might stand out from other dealerships. That's all. That's all. But at the same time, celebrate your personality. So you'll see that, yes, role play is tough. It's not always natural. But unless we role play, we tend to go down the path of wrong verbiage, wrong word usage. And we just want to try to provide you with some better words right out of the gate. So we've already covered a lot of territory, a lot of work in our very first module before lunch. So it is about 4 minutes after the hour. 4 minutes after the hour, according to, so I guess 12:04 your time, I'm an hour behind you. So we will, everybody, I find that when we do online training, that I do need to give you a full hour break away from the cameras. And so it gives you a chance, whether you're at home, to relax, if you want to catch up on some emails, some texts, or if you want to slip out to get a bite to eat, some takeout, whatever you might need. So I would suggest leaving the meeting open. If you want to go cameras off and sound off, just remember, if you don't want us to hear what's going on in your house, mute. Otherwise, if you get into a fight with your significant other or your cat or your dog, we're listening and recording. Listening and recording. At the same time, if anybody has any questions that you want to ask me, I'll stay behind for a minute or two until everybody gets settled, if you just wish to ask or comment. So it is lunch break. We'll see you in 1 hour.